Now, celebrities in their hundreds have come forward, from actors, high-profile star, A-listers, TV stars, social media influencers have all come out in unison to talk about Lakshadweep. Not all of them are, dissing Maldives like you just saw Poonam Pandey do, but all of them are part of a wave of voices, high-profile voices with millions of followers and fans across the country and across the world who are calling attention to Indian destinations, and they are doing it in style. Joining me live, some of those voices, and I wanted to sort of investigate and explore some of those themes in a little greater detail, because there is one view that some of these things are just social media gussa. This is just to trend some kind of thing. Kuch din ke baad ye chala jayega, and everybody will forget about Lakshadweep and everyone will fly back to Maldives. So let's see what some of India's best faces think. Dalit Tahil, veteran actor. Welcome, sir. Bharat Dabholkar is also an actor. Thank you for being with us. Raveera Bharadwaj is also an actor. To all three of you for being with me, thank you very much. Dalitji, starting with you, how do you feel about, what the Maldivian minister said, and, and the wave of reactions that have taken place ever since, sir? What do you think about that? Where do you stand? Would you travel to Maldives? How do you feel?
Well, a very, very good evening to you, Shiv, and thank you for having me on your show. I think that you have very eloquently, before the show started, talked about the politics of this whole situation and described that side of it. So
yes, sir.
I think the Ministry of External Affairs and the Maldivian government are handling that side of it. And I think it's a complete own goal. Very unfortunate statements. It doesn't dent the Honorable Prime Minister's status or image or, his stature in any way. Neither does it really affect India to that extent. However, like I said, it's a known goal, it's a red card, a very unfortunate thing to say. But what it has done, in my opinion, I would like to focus on the fact that India has so many local holiday destinations. One of them is Lakshadweep.
Yes.
And Lakshadweep is so beautiful. I have been there on several occasions, almost 15 years ago. The beaches are pristine. It is an absolutely wonderful place to go. And I hope this will be an opportunity for the Ministry of Tourism to develop the Lakshadweep so that it can attract more tourists from India and from overseas. And eventually, I mean, as most things are, I would like to see the Lakshadweep, come up as a beach destination. Yes. Internationally and especially for the Indian people. So I think this is a great opportunity to take that forward.
Okay, very important. And I think I completely agree with Dalit Tahil when he says that this is an opportunity for India. The Maldives versus Lakshadweep thing sounds very fancy for social media, but all this attention means there is a great opportunity to truly begin to make Lakshadweep a world-class and sustainable destination. Raveera, have you been to either Maldives or Lakshadweep? And what do you think about all the gussa people are expressing? Because it's beyond social media. I personally know people who have actually decided ki Lakshadweep hi jayenge hum.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Actually, I've neither been to both Maldives and Lakshadweep. And although being a traveler, I know it's strange, but I've been to Andaman and I've heard a lot about Lakshadweep as well. So a lot of people that don't know that Andaman has really blue waters. I think it's even better than many countries that I've been to. And I'm sure even Lakshadweep has like really pristine, untouched beaches, which we can explore as Indians. And after seeing PM Modi's video, I also saw they have really beautiful ocean bed. Being a scuba diver and I do snorkeling as well, such pieces of corals and orchids are very difficult to find in very commercial places. So Lakshadweep has that advantage of natural beauty within the ocean bed, and we should definitely explore that. And jahan tak gusse ki baat hai, I think we are Indians, we are a very friendly country, but we don't take just any insult to us, and that's the new India that we are. That you cannot just insult us. And we as Indians, we will always stand by our Prime Minister, and that's what patriotism is all about. And whatever they said was wrong. And India itself is like a world. We have mountains, we have beaches, from east to
Very
west to
true.
north to south. We have everything within our own country. And as Indians, we should really promote our own destinations. So Lakshadweep is definitely one of the top destinations. I think it should be the new honeymoon destination, how Maldives was for Indians. So I guess Lakshadweep should be developed in a way that newly married couples can go there, and even like youngsters and friends and family should go and visit Lakshadweep. And I'm sure those blue, clear, untouched waters with the white sand is gonna make everyone happy within the country.
Well, Make My Trip, Raveera, which is the dominating travel bookings company in the country, has just reported a 3,400% increase in search terms for Lakshadweep travel. So that's a crazy spike in interest for Lakshadweep. But, I also want to give all of our viewers, before I go to Bharat Dabholkar, there needs to be a little bit of a reality check also, because it's very fancy to compare these two islands, Maldives and Lakshadweep. But the fact is, Lakshadweep at present is not on the same scale as Maldives. It does not have a fraction of the number of hotels or resorts or infrastructure. So it's not ready for that kind of scale of tourism and inflow of tourists. But like Dalit Tahil ji said, and I completely agree with him, this needs to be an opportunity to start moving towards that in a responsible and sustainable manner. Bharat Dabholkar, if I could come to you now, do you think this is just a social media trend? ऐसे ही सब Maldives को गाली दे रहे हैं अभी because they insulted us, of course, but and this will just evaporate after a few days, or do you think people are really angry now and it will make a difference, sir?
No, I think it's not a flash in the pan. I think it once again proves that India is now a power center. You can't mess with us or our Prime Minister anymore. But there's two or three things that I want to mention here. One is that Lakshadweep is not some new kid on the block.
Yeah.
My dear friend Prahlad Kakkar has been running a diving school there for over 30 years now. And lots of people have been visiting that and getting diving training there. The other thing that I think when I was listening to other people and you is that it's not just the number of tourists who are going there. Indians world over, as tourists, when they go, they spend the maximum.
Correct.
There are very few tourists from other countries who spend the kind of money that Indians spend when they travel abroad. So I think it's not just the number in terms of how many tourists, but how much money they spend when they go there.
Yeah.
So I think Maldives is not just going to miss out on the number of people coming there, but the kind of revenue that they were getting from Indian tourists.
Yeah.
They book the best rooms. They spend maximum when they travel anywhere in the world. The only sad thing here is I think what happens is India tourism is pathetic. I think barring a state like maybe Rajasthan, nobody has really promoted the tourism that the way they should have done. And
Very
I think
true.
Mr. Modi going there and doing this has tremendous impact on tourism. And I think other people should now learn to do this. We have pristine beaches, they say, in Konkan area in Maharashtra. And nobody goes there. Barring Goa, nobody knows that there are great kinds of beaches, pristine, untouched beaches available all over Konkan, and nobody knows about them because we've never promoted them. I think this is not just a thing. I think Modi has lit a flame, and now we need to make sure that every destination that we have, it's not just about Maldives and Lakshadweep. Everything that we have in the country is worth visiting, but somebody has to take the stand and say, we will do this and do it in a grand way. In advertising, we say that when you're selling a product, there's a pull and push. You either push by giving discounts or you pull by saying this is a fantastic product. I think time has now come when all our great destinations that we have in the country, we need to make sure that we push them.
I want to explore this a little further. You make a fabulous point, which is about the opportunity now. Dalipji, to take the point that you also made forward a little bit, do you think this little flame that has been lit can be fanned into a fire? Because, too often in this modern day of ours, we get distracted by other things. Over time, these viral images will be forgotten. People will move on to other things. Here lies this fabulous opportunity where people are searching for Lakshadweep on Google. They're looking for it on Make My Trip. There's this amazing interest for Lakshadweep and other Indian destinations. But don't you agree, Dalipji, that it also will require a major cultural shift for Indians to respect their own land and to see the treasures that we have here before we can open them up for outsiders?
Well, I hear what you're saying, and you're right. I mean, and that I have to absolutely, we all have to thank the Honorable Prime Minister for bringing places like Lakshadweep into the foreground, into the focus. As Bharat quite rightly said, I mean,
yes,
some of us who've been to the dive school, which Prahlad has been running for the past 30 years, have been shouting ourselves hoarse that Lakshadweep is a beautiful location, is pristine, is this. But yeah, the Maldives has its attraction, and I do hope that, after all the things settle down, I mean, we've wrapped them on their knuckles and we've made our point. Now to go on about it and say that we'll never go to the Maldives is a little impractical. So, I mean, I feel that, we should coexist. And I certainly think that it is very important that the government and the Ministry of Tourism begin to develop these several locations that the Honorable Prime Minister is pointing out, so that it provides an infrastructure for people to be able to make these choices, so that we don't have to go looking elsewhere when we have the infrastructure in our own country. I think that is the most important message that I take from the Honorable Prime Minister's visit, and he has done it deliberately. He has gone there and pinpointed the Lakshadweep deliberately, shown to the nation that he can take a holiday there. Why can't the rest of the nation take a holiday there? And it's worked.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it has come to the expense of the Maldives, which is a beautiful archipelago.
Correct.
And it's a wonderful place to go to. And I truly hope, sincerely hope, that this all settles down and everybody, comes to coexist, as I said. But the good thing that I take from this is that the Lakshadweep now has become an international destination, and that is a wonderful thing to happen from all points of view, not least because Lakshadweep is beautiful. And it's just the most wonderful place to go to.
I couldn't agree with you more, Dalipji, when you say that,
as are other destinations in India.
All of this will settle down. Coexisting and competition is really where things should actually be. We, look forward to a nice situation where Lakshadweep and Maldives can actually healthily compete with each other as far as resorts and destination and tourism inflows are concerned, because the intemperate and ugly words used by some Maldivian ministers now, make no mistake, Maldives is paying for it and will be paying for it in the foreseeable future, because there are people who are angry. There are people, we don't know the number, there are people who have decided to cancel shoots. You just heard from Poonam Pandey. There will be hundreds like her who've also decided that they want to put their anger to good use and, at least for the moment, sort of teach Maldives a lesson, for want of a better phrase. Sherlyn Chopra is another very well-known actor and model. She also joins me. Sherlyn, welcome. Have you been to Maldives or Lakshadweep, Sherlyn? Are you angry about the words that you have heard? Are you planning to cancel Maldives? What is your thought right now, Sherlyn?
Yes, I was planning to celebrate my birthday next month in Maldives. Not anymore. I can't wait to explore the sheer beauty and splendor of Lakshadweep Islands. And come to think of it, all our Prime Minister did was shared a few glimpses of the breathtaking beauty of Lakshadweep Islands.
Yeah.
That's all he did. And he praised the beauty, the splendor of Lakshadweep. So this post was never intended to provoke the ministers
He didn't
of
even
Maldives
name Maldives,
to spew
Sherlyn. He didn't
venom
even
and
name
hatred.
Maldives.
Yeah, exactly. This was never intended to provoke the ministers of Maldives. I don't know why they had to spew venom and hatred in retaliation to this post. So they must understand that if they want the money of Indians, they must respect India. They must respect the Indian Prime Minister. As simple as that. You cannot be talking very poorly of our Prime Minister and expect us to fly to Maldives and spend our money on your tourism. No, that's not how it goes. You respect us and then we spend money in your country. So when I got to know about this exchange of words on social media platforms, I was I was dumbstruck. I said to myself, oh my God, what is this? What's going on? And then, I decided that I would never, ever visit Maldives until they issue a public apology to our Prime Minister. This is totally unacceptable. मतलब आपको हमारा पैसा चाहिए, लेकिन आप हमारे प्रधानमंत्री का अनादर करेंगे, आप उनका अपमान करेंगे. क्यों करेंगे भाई? क्या किया हमारे प्रधानमंत्री ने? लक्षद्वीप के कुछ विजुअल्स पोस्ट किए ना, कुछ ग्लिम्सेस पोस्ट किए. इसमें ऐसा क्या खराब था? ऐसा क्या था जो आप पचा नहीं सके, जो आपको लगा ओह माय गॉड हमारे साथ कंपटीशन कर रहे हैं? नहीं, तो इसकी जरूरत ही नहीं थी. इस तरह के मतलब हेट्रेड की जरूरत नहीं थी. हाँ, कोई अगर आपको उकसाता है, आप इस तरह रिटेलिएट करते हैं तो बात अलग है, लेकिन यहाँ पर किसी ने आपको बिल्कुल नहीं उकसाया.
नहीं, गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से किसी ने नहीं उकसाया. कुछ ट्वीट्स तो सामने आए थे जिसमें ये कंपैरिजन था लक्षद्वीप और मालदीव्स के ऊपर, और उसको लेकर ये सारा मिनिस्टर्स की तरफ से ये हमला हुआ था. लेकिन शर्लिन, माय सेकंड क्वेश्चन.
नहीं, मालदीव्स के मिनिस्टर्स बोलते हैं या गुड ट्राई बट यू कैन नॉट कम्पीट विद द टूरिज्म ऑफ मालदीव्स. व्हाट डज इट मीन? व्हाट डज गुड ट्राई मीन? अरे, अगर भारत के प्रधानमंत्री भारत के यूनियन टेरिटरी का मतलब भारत के यूनियन टेरिटरी की प्रशंसा कर रहे हैं, लक्षद्वीप की प्रशंसा कर रहे हैं, तो इसमें गलत क्या है? What do you mean by nice try? This is not a nice try. This is how India is. We praise the beauty of our country. We praise the beauty of our union territories. That's how India is. Get used to it. Nice try, but you can't compete with the tourism of Maldives. Acha? You think India is dependent on Maldives? No, get a reality check. You guys are dependent on us for your tourism. We have beautiful locales in our country. From Kanyakumari to Kashmir, we have beautiful locales. We can go to India all around the year.
But
Sharlin, to celebrate our anniversaries, our birthdays. We don't need Maldives. हाँ, हम जा रहे हैं ये सोचकर कि चलो ठीक है, Maldives हमारा अच्छा neighbor है, चलो वहां पर जाकर पैसा खर्चा करते हैं. लेकिन
Sharlin, you have decided. Sharlin, you've taken the difficult decision.
प्रधानमंत्री का ये हम कैसे बर्दाश्त करें?
Sharlin, you've taken the difficult decision to not have your birthday in Maldives. You will have it here in India or elsewhere until they issue an apology. Hear my question. मेरा सवाल ये है कि कुछ लोग बोलेंगे कि ये तो एक ट्रेंड है, ये because of social media outrage, you know, certain people want some attention, they're coming out and being part of the trend. I am not saying it. I'm saying some people will accuse you and say that ये तो social media गुस्सा है, trending और traction के लिए, you know, पूनम पांडे, शर्लिन चोपड़ा ऐसे लोग सामने आ रहे हैं और बोल रहे हैं कि हम Maldives को cancel करेंगे. आपका जवाब क्या होगा? What will you say? Because they will say that your गुस्सा is not real.
पूरे देश को बोलना चाहिए कि अगर आपको भारत का पैसा चाहिए, आपको भारत देश की इज्जत करनी चाहिए. अगर आप हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री का अपमान करेंगे, हम आपके देश में आकर पैसा खर्चा नहीं करेंगे. ये बात सिर्फ कुछ लोगों की नहीं है, ये बात पूरे देश की है. देश के प्रधानमंत्री से बढ़कर, देश की गरिमा से बढ़कर कोई टूरिज्म कैसे हो सकता है? ये सोचने वाली बात है. आप कहते हैं अरे आपके देश से तो बदबू आती है. अच्छा, हमारे पैसों से बदबू नहीं आती क्या? तो मत लो हमारे पैसे. अरे आपके देश में तो गोबर के लड्डू मिलते हैं. ओके, तो हम कहां आपके मुंह में ठूस रहे हैं उन लड्डुओं को? जो गलत है वो गलत है. नहीं, आपको बदबू आती है हमारे देश से, तो हमारे पैसों से क्यों खुशबू आती है?
I hear your anger and I hear your emotions, and I'm sure that, you know, people across the country feel that anger.
ये सारी बातें कही गई थी सोशल मीडिया पर. आपके देश में ऐसा होता है, आपके देश में वैसा होता है. ओके, अगर हमारा देश इतना ही खराब है, इतना ही बुरा है, तो हमारे पैसे आप क्यों स्वीकार कर रहे हैं? बोलो कि लानत है आपके पैसों पर. बोलो ना, अगर जिगरा है तो बोलो. लेकिन नहीं, आपको पैसा चाहिए हमारा.
Okay. Sharlin, thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing your travel plans with us. You've decided not to have your birthday. I wish you a happy birthday in advance wherever you plan to celebrate it. And we will come to it next and we will report it when you do. Thank you very much. Sharlin, also to Dalit Tahil ji and Bharat Dabholkar ji for joining us here on India Today.